I stand as every member of this Senate does today in, I am sure, in support of not only this resolution, but everything this resolution stands for. The elimination of Osama bin Laden as a symbol of murder, of tyranny, of repression is an important moment. It's a moment that came 10 years after it should have. If we could have found Osama bin Laden 10 years ago when we were looking for him, 9/11 might not have occurred, but it did occur, and the message to him and the message to others was that you can't hide from the forces of freedom and democracy. This was a moment when the forces of freedom and democracy triumphed over the forces of repression. This was a moment when the symbol of one view of the future was eliminated with the violence and the kind of violence that he himself had perpetrated on so many others. I think the president made a great decision to send this team of the best into this compound to find Osama bin Laden, to know for sure, face to face, that either he was going to be captured by Americans or, in this case, killed by Americans, to be able to take the hard drive, the documents, the information that he had surrounding him, will tell us a lot about his contacts, and who knows what it might tell us about the network of al-Qaeda. The president could have made a decision to bomb the compound, and I guess we'd be shifting through the ashes today to see if Osama bin Laden was there or not. And we might have been able to confirm that, but we wouldn't have been able to confirm all the information that the SEAL team was able to take with them. I think these were two important decisions made by the president. The decision to bury Osama bin Laden in an unknown spot, but with the kind of respect that his own religion required, was also, I think, another good decision. And I want to be supportive of the president and the decisions made. There are times, I would think, when the Predator missile is the right things to use, and there are times when it's not. One of the other things that we see from the death of bin Laden is that there is value to capturing our enemies and getting information from them. And that thread of information that began maybe as much as 9 years ago finally was able to unravel in a way that made the connection that needed to be made so that Osama bin Laden could be found, so that the justice could be done, so that the price would be paid by him as it's been paid by so many others in defense of freedom. And certainly, Mr. President, there are questions today about Pakistan, but there's no question that Pakistanis have died fighting alongside Americans in the last decade. There's no question that Pakistanis have been the victim of terrorism. Hopefully, this will be a moment that brings all of those who should want freedom to the same side. I just returned from a quick visit to Egypt, which could very well be on the right path for the Middle East, a path where without violence people stand up and want more freedom. They want democracy, and that's not the goal of the extremist in Islam that Osama bin Laden became the great symbol for. And we don't believe that Osama bin Laden's been in operational control of al-Qaeda for some time. It would be wonderful if we find out in the next few days he was, and that the terror of al-Qaeda would be eliminated. I don't think we'll find that out. But we do know that he is a symbol that was unique in the way he symbolizes this wrong view of the future, the way he symbolized this wrong view of the requirement that everybody living together be exactly the same. We, unlike any other country in the world, defy that view of the future. We have proven, like no other country's ever proven, that people can live together in great diversity, that people can live together with different points of view, and you can live in a society that still flourishes. And so, of course, we're the enemy of a worldview that's not possible. And it's not because of anything we've done to the extremists in the world community, but it's because who we are. And yesterday, the message of who we are was registered again in a powerful way as we all over this country and people all over the world talked about what had happened the evening before. And certainly not only the SEALs that went in to the compound to see that justice was done, but also all of those who are willing to serve, those who could have been among the elite that went in, or all those who have served the over 4,000 Americans, including many Missourians whose lives have been lost in the last decade, in addition to the 3,000 lives that were brutally taken by the operatives of Al-Qaeda and Osama bin Laden on September the 11th, 2001. And so this resolution that recognizes the courage to bring justice, that recognizes the evil that was done by Osama bin Laden and his followers, that recognizes the importance of freedom and democracy in a society, is a resolution that I'm proud to support. I'm proud of what the men and women did for us who executed this well-planned mission, but also of everybody who serves every day, for all the families who have a missing place in their family, for someone whose life was lost serving the country, for all the families who live with someone with disability because of the kind of war we're in now. And so, Mr. President, I am pleased to stand here representing my state, but hopefully representing it all, as all of us do, the forces of freedom and democracy that will ultimately triumph over the forces of repression and murder and chaos that one worldview would try to perpetuate. And we recognize today another step against that view of the world, and I yield back.